Appreciate you all coming out today. Obviously, to kind of wrap up the game last weekend, I thought our guys had a great week of prep, and it was just really fun to see it all pay off in that game. And that was, as we talked about, a big win for our program. I thought there was a lot of bright spots in every phase of the game for us, offense, defense, and special teams. But I thought defense was extremely dominant. Like I look back at the statistical sheet, I see like what we were able to do in terms of covering them down the field, staying on top of routes, the pressure we put on the quarterback to get 7 hits and a sack, the PBUs down the field, as I talked about, and interceptions. And the biggest thing was communicating all their shifts and motions, doing a great job with our eyes and stopping the run. And that was really the story of the game. Aside from 2 runs, I thought we did an exceptional job all game long. Offensively, we played really hard. We played hard in the first half too, and we played well in the second, which was great. And it ended up being a pretty good statistical day as well, converting 60% of our third downs and going 6 for 6 for the second straight game in the red zone. So really proud of that. Feel like we've made tremendous progress. I really do. And, you look back at the last 2 games, our defense has given up an average of 219 yards a game. We held the last opponent to 175 yards and 9 first downs. Their time of possession in the second half, which is obviously a team statistic, they had the ball 6 minutes and 39 seconds in the second half of football. So that's a heck of a job by everybody from our coaching staff right down the line to every one of our players, including the look teams that I thought gave us a great look last week. Our goal this week is no different than any week. It's a fun week. It's a great week to be part of this program, but our goal is to go 1-0 and to not let our process change one bit, and understand that all the confidence that we earned from the victory last week should also be the confidence in our prep and in how we go about our business week to week. Talking about this game against that team right across town, celebrating the Bayou Bucket's always fun. I think the Houston Touchdown Club does some great things to make this a big deal and to make it a cool event, including the luncheon tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. Certainly we'll recognize the schedule that school across town opened up with, not an easy schedule to start with. And we know they're a very good team. We know how talented they are. And we know it's going to take an extremely good, clean effort by our team to bring that bucket back to Main Street. And that is no doubt our goal. One other thing about this weekend is we will be wearing the Coach for Cure patches on our sleeves as coaches and representing Duchenne muscular dystrophy and all the research that AFCA can help with in terms of that for the Coaches for the Cure. So at this time, I'll open it up for any questions. No different. It's going to be about the Rice House. It's going to be about us. Like what they do across town is what they do. And I don't know if it matters after a win or a loss. I think right now our team's very motivated and we aren't coming off a loss. We're very excited about football and we're ready to get to work. Nate, I think the record is like something that we're going to look back at the end of the year and kind of judge how we did. Like I'm proud of these guys for finding a way the last 2 weeks to win games and for preparing the right way to do so. I don't know. I don't know what the record means this time of year. I guess I'm just too focused on this week. And like, that's what matters. Like the record, that's done. That's in the past. We're 2-1. Good. Now let's go forward and let's see if we can improve that record. Their defensive ends are spectacular. The effort that they play with, the physicality that they play with, those guys are just, they're everything that they're cracked up to be, in my opinion. When you watch them on film, they jump off the film. And so they're great players. We're going to have a great plan to address them and show them that we have respect for them. So again, like I think that will be a great matchup. I think you're exactly right. I think there's some stars on their defense, and it starts with those 2, whether you call them outside linebackers or defensive ends, and those 2 safeties that are all over the field and are coming down and hitting hard. And that's where it starts in the run game. Now, play action pass and some of those things, like we've got to be great. We've got to continue to take those shots and hit those shots down the field and hopefully make them pay for being very aggressive with those safeties. Yeah, I'm just really pleased. I'm really pleased with honestly how we prepared for every opportunity. I'm pleased with this team, how they were in training camp. I told them the other day, like, I'm so thankful that they're letting me be a small part of this and hang along for this ride because it's really fun. These guys come to work, they do everything their coaches ask. It's fun to be a part of. And again, you talk about that first opponent. I think that first opponent was really good. And I don't think we gave them our best shot. And that's on us. But thank goodness the last 2 weeks we figured out how to play pretty well. I'll tell you, I think Clayton Toombs, when he is on, he is as hard to deal with as maybe anybody we played, except for that guy in that first game, right? Like Clayton Toombs is spectacular as well. And the thing that's sneaky is he's got good arm talent. He does a good job distributing the ball, but like he's a sub 11 flat 100-meter guy. Like he can really roll. And that's what gets lost until he breaks out of the pocket and you're like, oh goodness, there it goes. So I think that's a great challenge for our defensive front this week to get hits on Clayton Toombs and to do a great job corralling him so he can't get out of the pocket. Yeah, I think the playmakers do, and Clayton's one of them. Clayton does a great job, like I said, distributing the football, but when he breaks out with his legs, like he's sneaky fast and like really fast. But I think when you talk about number 1 and number 4 and what those guys do in open space, like we've got to do a great job getting to them before they can get started. Nah, it's in our home city, man. We're going to be at our team hotel. We're going to eat team meal just like we do. Like the bus will just deviate its path on the way to the stadium. That's it. It's really cool. Like that's what the shortest distance between 2 FBS universities to get a chance to play. So a lot of fun there. I don't know about outside. I just can't speak to that. Like inside these walls, like these people have believed for a while, and I'm glad we're getting those results and they're kind of getting paid for all their hard work. But we created a culture where these guys believe in each other. They believe in their own abilities, which is really cool. And we're starting to see that. When you talk about outside the walls, like I had 300 text messages Saturday night. So somebody liked what we did. But, other than that, like I really just don't talk to people outside these walls except for my wife and 2 children, and again, in the off season, we'll talk to them and hopefully they're excited about what we were able to put on the field for the entire season and how this thing ends up. But right now it is singular focus on that team across town. Talk to you guys. I like y'all.
That's about it. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one for you, Mike. First 3 weeks, new quarterbacks, new head coaches, lots of new rosters. This is the first time this year you play somebody that you're pretty familiar with. Does that how does that affect your process and your prep and what you guys do this week?
Yeah, you're right. There is a lot more familiarity. There's a lot more and certainly not just with coaches, Matt, but like you said, the quarterback is somebody we've played before. The entire roster, there's a lot of those guys that, we had initial recruiting conversations with at one point or another. And so, yeah, there's familiarity with the roster. But the thing is, like, you're still going against 2 great play callers in Dana, who does an unbelievable job and knows his offense extremely well, and Shannon. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball and Doug Bilk, what he did last year with that defense, the way he put things together, the way they prepared for us, and then to see them end the year last year as the number 1 third down defense in America and really go up there and battle Cincinnati in the championship game. Like, I just think Doug's done a super job, and I think he's a great play caller as well.
And then you talked about some of their weapons. This is kind of, you've had a development injuries in your cornerback room the past couple of years. How do you feel now that you got a full arsenal there that y'all can stack up against some of those guys, Tank Dell and like?
Did you say corners, Matt?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with that corner room. I'm pleased that, but we haven't been playing a whole room full of them now. We've been playing two dudes. It's been Sean Fresh and Jordan Dunbar, and they've done an exceptional job staying on top of their receivers, creating PBUs. And then in a spell situation, I think Lamont Narcisse played 13 plays last game. So it's not like we're playing a whole lot of people. But you're right, there is depth, and there's really good depth. When you talk about Lamont, you talk about JoJo. It's really fun. And as you know, I feel that way about a lot of our rooms across the board on our team. The depth is a real difference, and you see it every day in practice. So yeah, absolutely. That's encouraging to go into this game. I'll never forget the 2018 game. And I can't remember exactly what the score was going into the fourth quarter. Maybe it was 24-7. And you felt like we were in a good place. And we had one corner go down with cramps, and then another one go down, got banged up. And we were playing some dudes at corner, like some walk-ons at corner against those dynamic guys over across town. And that was tough. That was a tough feeling. So yeah, it's a lot better to have two corners that I think are playing at a really high level, and then some behind them that I would have no concern about them going in a game. Yeah. Right now it's all process driven. It is really like, guys, like we performed well Saturday because of the way we prepared. And that's what we got to do again. Football's a very passionate game. We're passionate people too. We have our family mix-ups, if you will, brotherly love, where some fights happen and stuff like that too. Thank goodness it's contained to the practice field right now. Yeah, it better stay that way. But I'm sure they'll get all their in-house issues ready, and we're just going to worry about our team going forward. It's the next one on our schedule. It will always be a big deal for recruiting. I don't want to go away from that fact. We recruit a lot of our team from Texas and in the city itself, the city of Houston. And so anytime you can win an in-season or an in-city rivalry or any in-state game, it helps. Like it helps. But the thing for our team is like, we got another opportunity to play together this Saturday. We've got another opportunity this Tuesday, today, this afternoon, to have the best Tuesday practice we've had of the year. And that's what we're focused on.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you.
Thank you all. I look forward to you hearing from these two over here and Luke McCaffrey, who had a great game for us, 10 catches for 105 yards and 2 tuds on Saturday, and Ikenna Enechukwu, prototypical defensive lineman that's done a lot for our program and is affecting the game every snap he's in. So I'll leave it to Chuck to introduce the order.
All right. Ikenna, why don't we bring you up first?
Okay. Good afternoon.
Ikenna, just open up, just talk about your experiences playing this game and what it means to be playing in a rivalry game.
Yeah, so for me, like, I'm not from Texas, I'm not from Houston, but being at Rice for so long, it's become like I like being a Rice football player has become a part of my identity. So at this point, like this game like has like started becoming more and more meaningful to me. And like at this point, like yeah, it's like a full-fledged rivalry for me. Like I definitely have a ill feelings towards these guys and definitely want to get revenge for last year. So I'm gonna be playing with a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, and doing it for my brothers.
Take questions from the auditorium.
So any questions? The keys is to just play our technique and be explosive up front, at least for the D-line standpoint. We just have to make sure that we just stay true to what we practice during the week, stay true to the techniques, and just play like make minimal mental errors. Definitely probably the last time we played them last year. I know we didn't play them in 2020 because of the pandemic. So like yeah, last year was like the first time I got to like personally play in that rivalry game, and yeah, definitely got chippy out there, and it definitely like what left like a bad taste in my mouth, like seeing the scoreboard turn out to what ended up to be, and so it was like just that on top of like the universities all like getting compared to each other like in common just like everyday talking on sports, and like how it seems like we're like at the moment like in almost in their shadow, and it's time to like for us to prove that we are the best football team in the city of Houston. Yeah, defense has been amazing. Like this is like is probably going to be the best defense that we've had at Rice's the past 5 years. I can see it coming. I can see guys who came back from last year who are just like much better players. Talking about guys like Isaiah Floyd, who's like really like he's become like what he's always been supposed to be. Like he's a amazing D lineman. He's out here like making plays, being explosive. Myron Morrison, he's also out here making great plays and just being a freak athlete, like how he really is. And yeah, the secondary is crazy too. They're also all some good athletes. The confidence level is high. I mean, it's been high. I feel like since probably like the spring, like the amount of work we put in the summer. We come up here on Saturdays, just work on our technique, and like not just the D line, but all the other position groups we get together, even on the offense. And so even like this right now we're 2-1, but like we have like the full confidence that we're going to go 1-0 this week, because we know how capable we are just based on how much work we put in the past few months and how much work we're going to put in these next few days leading up to Saturday. Like Coach Bloomgren said, like just make sure we have another great week of practice, making sure that we get better and just take another big leap from week 3 to week 4. We have to get better in all cylinders and make sure we improve through every rep and through every day.
Anything from our participants on Zoom?
Hey, Ikenna, where did this past weekend's performance rank among defensive performances that you've been a part of at Rice? Really, only one sustained scoring drive by the other team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably like in terms of the first half defensive performance, I feel like it's been one of our best in a long while. I'm really proud of like how we were able to consistently like get 3 and outs and be very solid in the run game. I was so proud of our run defense. That's what we're going to bring again, like even better this Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that.
And then looking at Houston, have you gotten a chance to take a look at their offensive line and kind of how y'all line up and match up against them?
Yeah, I was watching film like just before I got here. Definitely, it's going to be a tough challenge. I think might be from what I see, they might be like the best offensive line we've faced so far this year. And I think our guys are up for the challenge. We're gonna definitely like prep more than we ever have been before. We're gonna like make this our best week of practice, and we're gonna understand what it's gonna take scheme wise and technique wise to win the battle in the trenches.
Anything else? All right, Ikenna, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Luke. All right, Luke, just to open up, just a few thoughts. We didn't get a chance to talk to you Saturday night, so just looking back, a few thoughts on Saturday night's performance.
Yeah, I think Saturday we played well. We got the win, but you always go back and analyze the film. You look at what you did well, try and repeat that, and then you see all sorts of things that you need to do better. And that's where we're at as a team. I mean, we played a lot of really good football. We made the plays when we needed to, and so I think look back at all three of the last couple games, and we haven't played our best football yet, and that can be, frustrating that you haven't played great, but it can also be such a great advantage when you win and can still learn from it. And so just being able to look at that, enjoy the win, celebrate with your teammates, have a great environment, and then go back and still get better, still grow, still learn so that we can keep going each week, get a little bit better until we're finally at our highest potential.
Questions?
Yeah.
So how did you handle that?
Yeah, I don't know. Football is such a hard game. You have to have so much respect just to step on the field. And so I think you can't let emotions get into it too much, but whether you win or lose, we have a couple great sayings here just talking about how winning and losing is a mirage. It's not the whole story. And so whether you win like last week, whether you play well 1 week, there's always stuff that you can learn from. There's always stuff that you can get better from. And so I don't know, you're ever hard on yourself from an emotional standpoint, but from a growth standpoint, from always wanting to trust the process and get better each week as a team, as an individual. And so that's really how I would take that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, there's all sorts of goals that we have as an offense, as individuals, as a unit, as an entire team. But when you have guys like Roz on the other side lined up, is such a threat. When you have a quarterback like TJ who's playing as well as he is, an offensive line who's protecting them, and running backs who are getting that run game going, it makes it a whole lot easier. I'll tell you what. And so just to be able to have our unit come together like we have at times, and like we're continuing to work on having happen every single play is something that's cool and it's special about this team. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It means a lot. Like I said earlier, anytime you have a chance to step on the football field, it's such a blessing. The respect and the effort, the attitude that you have to have in order to just step on the field every day for practice, to go watch film every day, to hop in the weight room. And so every opportunity is a special opportunity, especially when you're playing someone so close. I remember the whole entire offseason, you look at billboards of UH around the city and you kind of look at it with a disgusting look. And so, to have this game, it sticks with you for a little bit longer than others. But I know George Nyquil always talks about opportunity on our team. And I think that's something that's so special. So you have an opportunity every play, every game, every practice, every week. And this is another one of those opportunities that holds a lot of weight. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think receiver is such a cool position because so much has to go right for you to get the ball. You're not the initial maybe ignition for a play. The center has to snap it to the quarterback. The O-line and the running backs have to get pass protection. Everything from a defensive standpoint has to go right. You have to either beat your man or find the open zone. And so I think when that's clicking offensively, everything's kind of going well together just for a receiver to get a ball. And so to have our team, to have our unit playing like that is something that as a receiver, you're so blessed to see and be a part of. Oh, it's awesome. I'm sure he's told you guys that he's my roommate too. So pick him up at, late at night when he's trying to go to bed. Hey, you see that play? Hey, you see that from practice? And so hopefully I don't bug him too much, but it's been awesome. I mean, he's been stepping up every play. It's so cool to watch him in practice too, from spring ball to fall camp. The more reps he gets and the more reps he gets with all of us, he gets better and we get better from a chemistry standpoint. And so I think that's the relationship a quarterback and a receiver have together, is continually building that chemistry, building that bond so that we're always on the same page. And he works harder than dang near anybody else in the building. And so it's someone who is easy to build that bond with because of his personality, because of his attitude, because of his love for the game of football.
Anything from anyone on Zoom?
Hey, Luke, I came across a stat after the game this weekend that Rice was top 10 in terms of most improved offenses year over year. What have you seen from your perspective that has enabled the offense to, flip the switch, so to speak, and get going so quickly?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of comparisons because so much goes into that. There's so many factors that aren't directly related to some comparisons, to some statistics. But I know as a unit, we've been working our butt off ever since January when we got here from winter break. I think everybody who's joined the program, whether it's a freshman, whether it's a transfer, whether it's guys returning from last year, whether it's Roz who came off a season-ending injury last year, or whether it's guys who've played here for 4 years, Shea Baker, who's on his 6th year. It's guys who love this program, have grown such a great bond with each other, and are excited to just keep building that bond and keep getting better. And so just to have that growth is awesome. I don't know what that looks like in comparison to anybody else in the nation, but I know I've had a whole lot of fun this whole season, thanks to our coaches, the culture we've built, and the players around this program.